Hello friends, in this video we will be learning arithmetic and logical instructions of 8085. Let us begin. So now we'll start with arithmetic instructions. So arithmetic instructions are those instructions which operates on addition and subtraction. So first of all, I'll start with addition instruction. Let's say ADDR is first instruction. We know that for addition we require at least two numbers, but here only add R is written, where R stands for any register out of A, B, C, D, E, H or L. We know that microprocessor always assumes that one of the data is already present in accumulator. So what it does, it adds the given register with the content of accumulator, and of course it stores the content in accumulator only. That is, the result is stored in accumulator only. So let us take an example. Suppose if we have instruction called as add C, then what it does, it adds content of C with A and result is stored into accumulator. For example, let's say if C has data 10, accumulator has data as 20, so 20 plus 30 becomes 30, so 30 is stored in accumulator. So this is how this instruction works. Or if I can take another example, add L. So what it does, it adds content of L with A, answer goes to A. Then student asks me, sir, what if I want to add the content of B register and C register? Then the answer is very simple. Out of B or C, you copy the content in accumulator and then you can add accumulator with the remaining register. For example, if you want to go for it, you want to add content of B with C. Let us assume the content of B was 20. Content of C was, let's say, 50. You want to add these two. So as I said, out of B or C, copy one of the content in accumulator. So then suppose if I have decided the content of C I am copying into A. For that I need to write an instruction MOV A comma C, where content of C are copied into A. Then you can write instruction called as add B. In a way, what happens, content of B gets added with C, not with C but with A, and answer goes to A. We know that actually A is getting added with B, but content of A was decided by C only, so it is in a way B is added with C only. So this is what we wanted to perform, B plus C, so we have performed, but in other way around. Let's start with the second instruction. ADI 8-bit. I'm sure you must have recognized what I stands for here. I stands for immediate. So AD stands for add, I stands for immediately. The given 8-bit data by default with accumulator, and answer will be going to accumulator only. For example, I can write ADI 20 hex. So what happens in this, it adds immediately 20 hex with content of accumulator. Let's say content of accumulator is 30 hex, then answer goes in accumulator, which is 50. Simple. If you write instruction called as ADI 502 hex, then this is invalid instruction. Reason, the data that you have specified here is 12-bit in size. How do I know it is 12-bit? It's very simple. One hexadecimal digit is 4-bit in binary, because every hexadecimal digit, whenever we convert it into binary, we write 8421 code. Am I right? And 8421 code gives you naturally 4-bit binary code. So one digit gives you 4-bit, means 3 digit will give you 12-bit. So this is 12-bit number. We know that 8085 being 8-bit microprocessor, the very first point that we have studied, the ALU that 8085 has is 8-bit ALU, meaning that it is capable to operate only on 8-bit data. So we cannot have 12-bit addition, right? That's the reason why this is invalid instruction. In fact, in the format I am very clear about it. I have written ADI 8-bit, right? So let's go for the next instruction. So in addition, we can write such instruction also, that is add M. So what add M will do? If you remember what M stands for memory as pointed by HL register pair. So by default, it will add content of memory with accumulator, an answer will get into accumulator, where M stands for memory pointed by HL. Then it checks HL register pair. HL register pair gives you address. Address gives you data. Data gets added with accumulator. Answer goes to accumulator. So what I said, let me just elaborate this. By default, it checks HL pair. Let us assume HL has C050. Then what C050 is? Is it data or address? Of course, it is an address. In fact, it is a location numbered as C050 hex. Let's say the content of this is 10. Let's say content of accumulator is 60. 60 plus 10 becomes 70. Again 70 comes in accumulator. This is how this instruction really works. So let me repeat this instruction. Add M stands for add content of memory, where memory pointed by HL register pair. HL has given you address, and address has given you data. Data gets added with accumulator, and answer goes to accumulator. I'm sure you must have understood this instruction. Let's move to the next instruction. Next instruction is ADC R. ADC stands for add along with carry. In fact, this is a carry as generated by the previous stage, right? Suppose if you are performing, let's say, 16-bit operation or 16-bit addition. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 hex, you are trying to add with 10 F2 hex. We know that it is actually a 16-bit addition. Do you think 8085 being 8-bit processor is capable to perform 16-bit addition? The answer is either yes or no also. No, because it is 8-bit processor, it cannot add 16-bit. Yes, because it can do the operation in 2 stages, meaning that it will perform addition of lower 8-bit, and in the second machine cycle it will perform addition of higher bytes. So let's see what we can do. In this, I have to actually divide this into 2 parts. Then 8085 will first of all do the lower 8-bit addition, where 4 plus 2 is 6, F plus 3. So what is number after F? After F we used to write 10. Then it is, you have to add 3 with F, means it is 10, 11 and 12. So 2 I can write sum, 1 I supposed to write carry. Now before I go ahead and go on adding the number, let me remind you, if you wanted to add 34 and F2, you are logically adding only 2 numbers. The first number is 34, the other number is F2. To carry out this addition, you are definitely going to use ADD instruction, and ADD stands for addition instruction, which is capable to add only 2 numbers, am I right? But here you don't have to add only 12 and 10, you have to add logically 3 numbers here, where 12 is the first number, 10 is the second number, and third one is the carry generated by the previous stage. And to do this, the ADD instruction is not going to work, because ADD instruction does not take care of carry flag, or it does not take care of a carry generated by the previous stage. If you want to do so, you must use instruction called as ADC, where ADC stands for add along with carry. See, when I am using ADC, I am not sure carry is 1. It might happen carry is 0. In case if carry is 0, there is absolutely no problem of adding 0. Is that right? So whatever, whether it is carry is 1 or 0, whenever you are adding higher 8-bit, it is always suggested that you must go for ADC instruction. So now I'll take an example and I'll make you understand how this instruction works. For example, ADC D. So what ADC D instruction does? If you remember ADD instruction, okay, assume this is not ADC instruction, this is ADD instruction. So if would have written ADDD, what you would have written? The content of D will get added with A and answer goes to A, am I right? But this time, with the presence of this C, it stands for a previous carry. Previous carry. Remember, this carry information is a binary flag, either 1 or 0. For example, now in this case, let's say A is 12, let's say D is 10, and let's say previous carry was logic 1. I'm just referring to the same example here. So now it will add all the 3. So 2 plus 1 will become 3 and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 23 is the addition which is now stored in accumulator, but this 23 is a higher byte addition result. So I'm sure you understood this, how ADC instruction works. So ADC instruction is same as that of ADD instruction. The only difference that it adds previous carry to it, where previous carry is a content of carry flag, and carry flag can be either logic 0 or logic 1. Remember, carry flag cannot have a value other than 0 and 1. Carry cannot be 2, right? Referring to the same instruction, I can write other instruction like this. ADCM. So just instead of R, now we have M. So what it is going to do, content of memory, again as pointed by HL register pair, it will by default add with A along with, of course, previous carry, and answer goes to A. So it is that simple instruction, how really it works. Okay. Next instruction I can write called as ACI 8-bit. So I'll tell you how it works. Again, A stands for addition, I stands for immediate, and C stands for previous carry. And of course, because of immediate, this is 8-bit data to be added along with the previous carry. Let's say ACI 50 hex. So it is just like ADI instruction which adds immediately the given 8-bit data with accumulator, but due to presence of C, it adds along with the carry. So it does like this: A plus 50 hex along with the previous carry status, and answer goes to A. So I'm sure the addition instructions are now understood by you. All the addition instructions are now covered. Now we'll move to subtraction instruction. Suppose we have instruction SUBR. The working of this instruction is like this. It is A minus R goes to A. For example, I can write SUBC. So what it does, it subtracts C from A, answer goes to A. In fact, you can write instruction like this, SUBA. So what it does A minus A, answer goes to A. Irrespective what is the value of A, the result is of course 0. So whenever you want to clear the accumulator, if you want accumulator to contain 0 0, you can use this instruction, that is SUBA. In fact, in addition also you are allowed to write ADDA. So what it does, it adds content of A with A itself, answer goes to A. So basically ADDA instruction is used to double the content of accumulator. Similarly, SUBA instruction is used to clear the content of accumulator. Naturally, when you are subtracting the number from itself, answer will be 0. Second instruction I am starting with, that is SUI 8-bit. For example, I can write SUI 60 hex. So what happens in this instruction is 60 hex gets subtracted from accumulator, answer goes to accumulator. Is that right? So you can have any 8-bit data here. Suppose if you write SUI 1 2 3 4 hex, again this is invalid instruction. Why this is invalid instruction? Because you are asking 1 2 3 4 hex data to get subtracted from accumulator, which is not possible because 1 2 3 4 hex is in 16-bit in size, right? So since ALU is 8-bit, we cannot perform operations on 16-bit. So it is strictly required that whatever data that you are specifying in this instruction should be 8-bit in size only. Third instruction you should know, called as SUBM. So of course now instead of R you have written M, where M stands for again memory as pointed by HL register pair. So by default it checks HL pair. HL pair gives you address, address gives you data, data gets subtracted from the accumulator, answer goes to accumulator. So in one line I can write like this, content of M gets subtracted from A, answer goes to A, right? Let's move to the next instruction. So fourth instruction that we have is SBBR, where SB stands for subtract, B stands with along with the previous borrow. See, likewise in addition we take care of carry generated by the previous stage, while subtracting we take care of a borrow generated by the previous stage. Naturally, SBB instruction will be used only when you are performing 16-bit subtraction. Assume that 8-bit lower 8-bit subtraction you have already performed, and when you are subtracting the remaining 8-bit, that is higher 8-bit subtraction, then you have to always take care of the carry generated by the previous stage. Here we don't say it is a carry, we say it is a borrow. But in spite of that, we don't have something called as borrow flag. We always have a carry flag. Remember, after subtraction, if carry flag is set, you have to interpret it as if a borrow is 1. So carry flag is treated as a borrow flag whenever you are subtracting, and carry flag is simply treated as a carry flag when you are doing addition. So let's see what this instruction does. For example, if I write SBB E, it means it subtracts E from A along with previous carry. Here carry should be treated as a borrow. That's the reason why, even though it is a previous carry, I'm not adding it, I'm subtracting it, because in subtraction only subtraction happens, right? So result goes to, of course, A. Next, suppose if I write instruction SBBM, so what it is going to do? Of course, it is subtracting content of memory as pointed by HL from accumulator along with, of course, previous borrow. Even though I am writing carry, knowing the fact there is only carry flag, there is no borrow flag, but carry flag is treated as a borrow flag. And of course, answer goes to A. The one more instruction is left, that is SBI 60 hex. So what SBI stands for? SB stands for subtract, I stands for immediately. In fact, only S stands for subtract, and here B stands for a previous borrow or previous carry, and I stands for immediately. So what it does is, it does like this: A minus 60 hex minus previous carry or previous borrow, and of course answer goes to A. So this is how this subtract instruction also works. So in arithmetic operations, we have only two sides, that is addition and subtraction. Along with that, we have increment and decrement instructions also. So now we'll see increment decrement instructions here. Here we will study in two aspects, that is incrementing decrementing 8-bit data or incrementing decrementing 16-bit data. So we will not be incrementing or decrementing the data, but we will increment and decrement the content of the given register. So when it comes to 8-bit data, I'll be using single register, and when it comes to 16-bit data, I'll be using register pair. How to use it? Let's see. So you have instruction like this. Let's say INRB, where INR stands for increment. So what it does, it increments content of B by 1, and again only B register is updated. Remember, this time accumulator is not updated. The motive was content of B was, let's say, 50, and I want to increment it by 1. Let's say if I want to make it 51, then I'll write instruction called as INRB. So only B gets updated. Here accumulator remains unaffected. So I can also write INRC. So what it does, it increments content of C by 1, and C is only updated here. If I want to work on 16-bit data, let's say if I want to work on BC register pair, then we write instruction like this: INXB. Now what IN stands for is increment, and X stands for, I'm sure you remember, it is pair. So here X stands for pair, and we have only 3 register pairs, BC, DE, HL. Remember, whenever you want to use BC pair, don't include C register. You have to write initial of BC register pair, that is B. You have to write initial for DE, then you have to write D. Whenever you are specifying HL register pair, you have to write only H. But then how microprocessor understands that you want to work with HL pair? It understands with the help of letter called as X. X stands for pair. So here what it does is, content of BC register pair gets incremented by 1, and again BC register pair is updated. For example, if BC has 1, 2, 3, 4 hex as a data, so 1, 2, 3, 4 hex gets incremented by 1, and it becomes 1, 2, 3, 5 hex, right? It's a very simple instruction to remember. Similarly, I can use decrement instructions also. Third example that we will see is DCRD. What it does, it decrements content of D by 1, and again D is updated. So for example, when in the program, if you want to repeat certain set of code, then you basically write a loop and you may be using particular register as a counter, and then you keep on decrementing it until and unless it becomes 0. So basically this instruction is popularly used while creating the loops. So decrement D, what it does, it decrements content of D by 1 and D is updated. Or you can write another example, let's say DCR E. So similarly it just decrements E by 1 and E is updated. The last instruction that we are going to see is that is DCX register pair, let's say D. So what it does, it decrements DE pair by 1 and again DE is updated. Similarly you can write like this DCXH. So what it does, it decrements HL pair by 1 and again HL is updated. So this is how these arithmetic instructions work. Fine. So now we'll be starting with logical instructions. So let us start with first instruction, that is ANAD. So what ANAD stands for? AN stands for logical AND operation. Your A stands for accumulator. Your A stands for accumulator. AN stands for AND operation, and only one register is specified. Of course, it is along with accumulator. So what it does, it logically AND content of D with A, and needless to tell you, answer goes to A as usual. Or if you have used instruction like ANAE, so what it is going to give you, that is content of E gets logically ANDed with accumulator, and of course answer goes to A. So likewise this instruction really works. So to understand how this AND operation looks like, because I have seen students gets confused between multiplication and AND operation. They feel that multiplication and AND operation is same. So let me tell you, they are not same. How come? I'll tell you. For example, if you want to multiply 03 with 05, it should give you 15, right? So in binary, how multiplication takes place? 0 can be written as all zeros, 3 can be written as 0011. It gets multiplied with 5, then 0000 along with 5 is 0101. Since upper 4 bits are 0, let us not consider them. So we can just wipe it out, and now we will concentrate only on this 3 into 5. So how multiplication takes place? First of all, you start with this LSB bit, this is 1. So you're going to multiply this 1 with all the digits written above. So 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 is 1, 0, right? Then you put a cross mark. After that you multiply with 0. 0 multiplied with anything is all zeros, right? Then you put 2 cross marks, then you start multiplying with 1, it becomes 1 1 0 0. Then you put 3 cross marks, then you multiply with 0, but then again it is all zeros. So if you now do this addition, you'll get 1 1 1 1, and rest of the bits you will get 0. So what you are getting, all ones, is what we see, it is 15 to the base 10. Is that right? So 3 into 5 gives you 15 naturally. Let us see what happens when you do AND operation between 3 and 5. So now what I'm going to perform is 3 ANDed with 5. Again 3 is 0011. I'm going to AND this time with 5 0101. How AND operation takes place? See very carefully. First of all, 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 0 is 0. 0 into 1 is 0. 0 into 0, 0, like this. So you have to actually take a product, but only bitwise. Can you see that? What is the resultant answer? Resultant answer is 1. Nobody can imagine that 3 into 5 can be 1. 3 ANDed with 5 can be 1, but 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. In fact, after multiplication, the result is more in size. As you can see in the previous slide, when you did a multiplication of 3 into 5, you get the extended answer. Extended in terms of size, I am saying. Here 3 into 5, the size of 3 was 4 bit, size of 5 was also 4 bit, and the result that you see is also 4 bit. Is that right? So there is no question of getting extra bit after you do AND operation, right? So this is the difference between AND operation and multiplication. Now let's go ahead with the next instruction, with AND instruction only. So what we have seen is AND instruction, how it works. So for example, if I write A and a C, what it does, it logically ANDs content of C with A, answer goes to A. So this is the first instruction that we have already seen. Second variation I want to tell you, that is A and A M. So what it does AND operation only, but this time with content of memory as pointed by HL register pair. Again, HL register pair gives you an address gives you data gets logically ANDed with accumulator, and of course answer goes to accumulator. Third variation is A and I, let's say 60 hex. You know that I stands for immediate data. So the specified data gets logically ANDed with accumulator, and answer goes to accumulator. This is what indicating AND operation performed by 885. So all the instructions which are listed here does only one operation, that is AND operation. Let's move to another operation, that is OR operation. So I'll just give you a hint. AN stands for AND. If you just replace AN with OR, all instructions becomes OR operation. Now we are going to see OR instruction. You can write ORAD. So we know that OR stands for logical OR, A stands for accumulator. So what it does, it ORs content of D with A, answer goes to A. Second instruction you can write like this, ORAM. So what it does, instead of D, now it is ORing content of memory as pointed by HL register pair with A, and answer goes to A. Third example you can say ORI 90 hex. So what it does, 90 hex gets logically ORed with A, answer goes to A. Is that right? Now I want to specify the difference between OR operation and sum. Sum means I am talking about addition. So let's see what happens in this. Suppose if you write instruction called as ADDC versus, I'll compare this with ORAC. So what ADDC does and what ORAC does, we will see, and we'll try to find the difference between them. Let's say ADDC instruction, it adds content of C with A, and answer goes to A. The confusion happens because even for OR operation we use the same operator, am I right? But the meaning of operator every time in arithmetic and logical operation may change. As it is changing in this way, here ORAC, content of C gets logically ORed with content of A, and answer goes to A. So this is just a similarity that result will go to A, but then there would be difference in the result also. Let's say the content of accumulator, again since it is 8-bit, let's say this is the binary data of accumulator, and now you are adding with C. Let's say we have this data in C. We'll be taking the same data and we'll perform OR operation also. First of all, see what is the result of addition. 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1, sum 0, carry 1, triple 1 gives you sum 1, carry 1, 1 plus 1 again sum 0, carry 1, 1 plus 1, sum 0, carry 1, 1 plus 1, sum 0, carry 1. Is that right? So carry is 1, and the result that you have here, this is 1 and this is 4, right? So 114 is the result after addition. Now we will take the same numbers, but this time I am not going to perform addition, I will be doing logical OR operation, and we will see what is the difference between them. You can observe I am taking the same number at A, which is 0 triple 1, 1 triple 0, and content of C I am again taking same, which is 1001, 1100. So I want to just remind you the truth table of OR gate. So truth table of OR gate looks like this: 00011011, assuming inputs A and B and output Y. Tell me, 0 plus 0 in OR gate, it is 0. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 1. So this is how it works in OR gate. Now let's see, 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1, 1. Remember, there is no carry. There is no concept of carry when it comes to logical operations for OR operations and operation, etc. 1 plus 1 again 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 1. You can see the huge difference between the result. This is F and this is C. So nowhere it is matching with addition result, right? So you must be knowing the difference between now addition and or operation previously also, but when it comes to instruction set, students really get confused. So in gate examination, I have seen the set of code they give you, and they ask you such questions that try to identify the content of accumulator at the end of execution. So there you might encounter such instruction like or instruction, addition instruction, or you can have XOR instruction also, now which we'll be studying next to this, that is XOR instruction. So if you have the knowledge of these instructions, then it is easy for you to tackle such problems. So let's begin with XOR operations now. Let's say you have XRAD. So XOR stands for XOR operation. So what it does, it XORs content of D with A, answer goes to A. Remember, the difference between XOR operation and OR operation is only that 1 plus 1 in OR gate it is 1, but here 1 and 1 gives you 0. Remember, there is no carry concept in even in XOR. The carry concept comes only in addition instruction only, not in logical operations, right? So what it does, it XORs the given register with A, answer goes to A. You can take one more example if you want, XRA L, then L gets XORed with A, of course answer goes to A. Second example I can study XRAM. So what it does, it logically XORs content of memory pointed by HL with A, answer goes to A. So content of M gets logically XORed with A, answer goes to A. Or I can have another example like XRI 20 hex. So what it does, it logically ORs 20 hex, or it immediately XORs 20 hex with content of accumulator, and answer goes to accumulator, right? So these are the only variations in XOR, OR as well as AND. So I'm sure you have understood these arithmetic and logical instructions. In next few videos we will be studying few more instructions and few more types. Thank you.